Do you like Pokemon cards? I know I do. And I thought to myself, why not just make a little log of everything that I have, some of my favorite cards that I have, my PSAs, my just random pulls that I got out of packs one day. There's a lot of cards. There are a lot of cards that I own, but I have some specific cards that are my favorites, which aren't going to be your typical Charizard cards that you'll see from other places. I definitely have a thing for birds. I do also have quite a few cards that I own that I should probably get PSA graded at some point, like this Rayquaza VMAX and the Palkia. There are a few cards that I own that I easily could probably get an 8+ on them, but you know, PSA grading and grading in general is very hit or miss from everything that I've ever seen and heard, and I know quite a few people that have sent in their cards before, so these all just kind of sit here for now. Alright. You want to see some of my favourite PSA cards that I've ever owned? Well, I have pulled out these bad boys right here, and you're probably going to notice a little bit of a pattern with some of them. At least eventually, in terms of the way that I collect Pokemon cards is probably not the same way that most collectors look to collect Pokemon cards, but first one that we've got here is this little one here, which is actually probably one of the least valuable ones that we've got, but this is a Shaymin card. But this is a lovely little card. I love the design on it, and I just keep it in this little folder here. This next one that we've got is one that I just happened to come across during an auction, and I don't know what it was about it, but I just love it. This Magneton. Any of the Shining Pokemon cards in general, I just think are kind of amazing, and this one just looks really nice. I like the shading, everything on this card. Next one we've got is a little Mimikyu, and I had no idea that this card existed. A Delta species Mimikyu. So yeah, during the 20th celebrations time frame, for whatever reason, they decided to bring out some Delta species cards again, for the first time in a very long time. But this is a very, very cool card. You see the gold outline and everything. I did not know that this card existed until one day I was just at the local card shop and I was like, oh, I like that. So yeah, there is that. Next one we've got is actually a 2006, so an oldie here, Empoleon. Just look at the shine on that. That is a wonderful, wonderful little PSA card to own. I also did manage to get this one on eBay for quite cheap at the time, but I just absolutely fell in love with this card. I love Empoleon. It's too bad I couldn't find a PSA 10 at the time, but PSA 9 is absolutely fine by me. Next one we've got is a 2013 card from the Legendary Treasures Radiant Collection, which I know at the time was a really, really popular set. And this one is still in the bag, so you'll have to mind the little bit of baggage on top. But this Mew card, look at her shining. I say her, but it is a Mew. Just look at that lovely card. So many of these cards from that set were just absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. Oh! Oh, beautiful Mew. This one is another, well, 10-year-old card now, which is the Cocoon Destiny Diancie Pokemon the Movie Special Darkrai. And it is one of the cards that, as you can see, it has this lovely, lovely, you know, like geometric pattern shaping on the card. And they released quite a few of these at one point, but I don't think they really do it like this anymore. But just look at that. Oh, oh, that's absolutely brilliant. I love that gleam so much. But yeah, so many of these Pokemon cards, which I think other gaming series and, you know, trading card games don't do, they don't get the patterns quite as lovely as the Pokemon cards. This one is another one that I'm absolutely in love with, and I would have loved to get a PSA 10 version of this card, but this is the Latias Legendary Shine Collection, as you can see. And once again, this one has another unique shading on the card. Look at that. This one's quite similar to the 20th century Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I guess. But just look at that. Absolutely lovely what you can get out of this card here, and just the the art itself is just so pretty. So I absolutely love that one. Next one we've got is actually a 2024 card, which as soon as I saw this, I was like, I have to have this in PSA 10. It is the Favouritest special card here. So I did get this one in Japanese as well, and there's no special gleam on the card, but I just absolutely love this artwork so much. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful ball. Love it. Absolutely love it. We do have another one here, which is another very random one, but I do like the pattern on this one quite a bit. So 2012, Everyone's Exciting Battle, Keldeo. So yes, it's not a full art card or anything like that, but once again, if I show you the pretty gleam on this one, we have more sparkles! Whoa! Lovely, lovely sparkly Keldeo. It is only a PSA 8. I couldn't really find another version of this at the time, but this card, I love Keldeo, and this one just has such a beautiful pattern to it. Now, I'm going to show you two cards that for many years, again, I didn't even know that this or these cards existed. I was so happy to find out that they did, because if you ever played any of the Pokemon games that had this art style and like these models to them, Pokemon Rumble, I adored when it was released. And we have a whole set of cards like this in English and in Japanese, and we've got Bastiodon, for instance. There's also a Mew card, there's a Zapdos card, I believe there's a Mewtwo. There are tons of Pokemon out of these Pokemon Rumble card sets, and they go for a lot of money because they are 2009 cards, and I don't think that they were very common. I don't think many of them were released. And again, we've got a wonderful, beautiful Heatran here as well. The only part of this card that shines is the actual Pokemon Rumble. Oh, is the actual Pokemon Rumble symbol there. The rest of it is just a regular old card, but the actual logo itself is the shiny bit, which, you know what, it's got its own little charm to it. I wish that they did a little bit more with those cards, but I love them nonetheless. I do also have a 2000 Meganium Holo. So this is a very old card. I didn't buy it too long ago, in fact, but again, it's got a nice little holo shine up there. It's the classic old style Pokemon card shine. And again, not a PSA 10 on that one, but I don't buy my cards just to be PSA 10s. I buy them because I like them. Now, on to my true loves. The main ones that I absolutely adore out of my whole collection here. Starts off with the 2022 Oricorio card. And again, a lot of collectors probably don't care for cards like this, but again, I love the colours, I love the design on this card, I just think it is absolutely beautiful. Who doesn't love Oricorio? If you don't love Oricorio, there is no saving you. But, love that card. This one here is quite a special card, a 2007 Japanese promo Meiji Chocolate Chatot PSA 10. And as far as I'm aware, this is actually the only card of this in existence in a PSA 10. I paid probably more money than I should have for this one, but this is basically just a special promo Chatot, and Chatot is my favourite Pokemon, so as soon as I saw that this existed, I had to have it. It is what it is. Next bird that we've got here is the Korokoro Ichiban 2022 Hisuian Braviary. So we've got another special promo card here. And you can see the little symbol here in the corner, which indicates that this is in fact one of these promo cards, but I absolutely love the design on this one as well. It is just a regular holo apart from that, but very cool card nonetheless. We've also got another bird in the form of a 2019 Cosmic Eclipse PSA 10 Oricorio again. And you know what? I'm not a massive fan of these rainbow cards in general, but I do like this one. Just because of how regal this Oricorio is, and I think it suits quite well. So, I did buy it for this one. This card, Squawkabilly EX 2023, is quite a recent card, but again, wonderful, wonderful bit of artwork on this one. Look, it's like the little Squawkabilly sitting on top of their little house, having their fun, looking at the other squawkabillies. Love it. I absolutely love it. It's just such a nice piece of artwork. Next one we've got is another love of mine, being this Flamigo full art card, and just look, just look at that. Look at how wonderful this card is. The Flamigo sleeping right in the middle. Nice little glisten on the card as well. PSA 10. Love it. Then, this is another card that I didn't actually find out existed until a year later, but we have this little Cramorant stamp box card. So there's no shine on this one, and it's made to look like this kind of material. You see what I mean? Like it's not tartan, but whatever it is that they make those little paintings out of, and I absolutely fell in love with this card. So yes, I did buy this one in the top form that it could ever be, and I hope to never ever lose this. I would cry if I was to ever lose this card. It's just such a beautiful little card. There is a Pikachu version of it as well, but who cares about Pikachu? And then I think my favourite card that I have ever got my hands on, and I ended up buying this for like $20 or something when I originally got it, the Shining Legends Shiny Ho-Oh Japanese promo version. So yes, it is a shiny Ho-Oh. It is from the Shining Legends collection, which now is very difficult to find cheap cards for, which you won't. And again, the shine on these cards. Look at that. Oh, look at that Ho-Oh shine. Absolutely beautiful little card. But of course, the old Ho-Oh cards go for a lot more than this one would, but I can see this one being a very difficult card to find in a few years' time, especially since it is the Japanese promo version. So, with a lot of the Japanese promos, the problem with those cards is that they'd come inside the box and they didn't used to actually keep them very well. So, the number of PSA 10s that exist for these is very limited because a lot of them ended up getting damaged during transport. So, I will keep that one nice and safe forever. And here's one of my binders. My lovely, lovely binders. This is just full of shiny cards, really, to be honest with you. You'll see the prices that I bought some of these at the time. And yeah, the prices will fluctuate greatly. But we have quite a few from a lot of different sets. We've got the Quaxley line here, of course, from that special box. And then just some more random ones here. We have another page with our wonderful, wonderful Xatu again. The Dreepy and Ice Cube line. Ducklet, Swanna. So many beautiful cards. Look at him. Look at him. Little Wattrel. You know, I actually managed to get all of these cards by trading in all of my, well, I say all of them, most of these, by trading in all of my female cards. So the female trainer cards, everyone goons over them, and then you can instantly get all of this stuff that you want. It's brilliant. I love this Chatot card so much. I also love this Squawkabilly right here. Then we've got two of these Japanese Ho-Ohs that I bought directly in Japan. Then we've also got on the same page, the orange chicken to go with them. That one I probably overpaid for, but I did not care. Then we've got some more of these shiners. So we've got the Charizard, which is one of the big cards from that set. We have the shiny Mew. Then we've got Ice Cube. Who doesn't love Ice Cube? There's Koraidon that we pulled. And the legendary birds. Pidgeot. Lovely, lovely Honchkrow there for £4. See, some of these cards people don't view anywhere near enough. Or high enough, I should say. Others, yeah, I'm just a glazer, I'll admit. Yes, I've got two Bombardiers. Don't judge me. Quaxley. Zekrom. And then we do have some trainer cards that will come up in a second as well. I just really don't think that other card games do things quite as well as the Pokemon one does. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! It does have some nice cards. They've got their new sets that they're releasing now, you know, the ones that are like way too expensive for their own good. But the Pokemon ones just have so much variety, and again, all of the differences in the patterns that they put in the cards as well. And obviously Pokemon has the massive benefit of having, you know, 1,000 Pokemon to be able to make all of their products on as well. But you see them do stuff like the football promotions and just the most random things like all the Korokoro stuff and everything else. There's just so much variety, and then because they've got so many games out, they've got all the special game promos like those Rumble cards. There's also Pokemon Channel cards, which I definitely have to show you one day. Maybe not today, but it's just such a long series with so many Pokemon to take from. They've just got endless merch, basically. We do have some old cards as well. They're probably not PSA tenable, but they'll probably get at least PSA 8, which I might do one day. Then just some random cards that I adore, just the random shinies, random birds. Sometimes I'll overpay for the bird Pokemon, but the rest, if I ever find something really cheap at auction, then I'll probably end up picking it up if I like the card. The last ones here are basically just a few cards that I liked, and I obviously picked up because, like, Cramorant, why would I not? Keldeo, why would I not pick up Keldeo? Honchkrow. I do have some dupes of these, Cramorant, but I think that's inherently where some people lose it when it comes to collecting. Rather than collecting things that they like and things that they just enjoy looking at, they just go for what is worth it in terms of market value. And I think that fundamentally destroys this hobby as a collecting thing. Like, why would you collect things that you don't like just to sell them off again? I hate all of the commercialization of Pokemon trading cards ever since, you know, a particular person got on a boxing stage with the Charizard card around their neck. It just really destroyed the market for Pokemon cards, and it's kind of getting back to where it was. It's kind of recovered a bit, but if you're looking to get into Pokemon purely from an investment standpoint, please don't. I'd rather just keep this hobby as a collecting hobby. You can choose to collect what you want to collect, but please don't make it less enjoyable for everyone else. But I guess no matter what you say, people are always going to look for the money, right? Anyway, those are my favourites, so it's not all of my cards, there's plenty more where that came from, but I just wanted to leave a quick video of my favourites that I've collected, and I have plans for probably way too many more.